Amal Clooney is a renowned human rights lawyer of Lebanese-British descent, widely known for her work in international law and advocacy for human rights. Born Amal Al-Muddin on February 3, 1978, in Beirut, Lebanon, she grew up in a family of academics. Her father, Ramzi Al-Muddin, is a Lebanese Druze, while her mother, Beria, is a journalist who worked for the Lebanese newspaper Al-Hayat. Amal's family fled Lebanon during the Lebanese Civil War, and she was raised in London, where she attended the prestigious St. Martin's School and later graduated with a degree in law from St. Hugh's College, Oxford. Her legal career began at the University of Oxford, where she earned a bachelor's degree in law. She then proceeded to earn a master's degree in law from New York University School of Law, where she specialized in human rights law. During her education, Amal developed a keen interest in global justice issues, such as the rights of refugees and displaced people, freedom of expression, and the protection of journalists in conflict zones. After completing her studies, Amal started her professional career as a clerk for Judge Patricia M. Wald of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, gaining invaluable experience in human rights law. She later worked for the renowned law firm Sullivan and Cromwell in New York, where she honed her legal skills. Amal's reputation as a skilled and passionate advocate soon grew, and she was appointed to represent high-profile clients in international legal matters. Her breakthrough as a global human rights advocate came when she represented the whistleblower, Julian Assange, in a legal battle to prevent his extradition to the United States. This case garnered significant international attention, marking Amal as a staunch defender of civil liberties. In 2014, she represented the United Nations in its efforts to combat human trafficking and sexual violence in conflict zones, and was soon recognized for her work on behalf of victims of state-sanctioned abuse. Amal Clooney has worked with numerous international organizations, including the United Nations, and served as an advisor to the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women. Her notable cases include advocating for the release of journalists imprisoned by oppressive regimes and holding governments accountable for violations of human rights. She represented the former president of the Maldives, Mohammed Nasheed, and helped secure his release from prison after he was imprisoned on politically motivated charges. Aside from her work in the courts, Amal has been outspoken about global issues, particularly on matters related to women's rights, international law, and the plight of refugees. She has also worked on the prosecution of war crimes and genocide, including providing legal assistance to victims of ISIS's atrocities against the Yazidi people. Amal was integral to the case of Yazidi women who were enslaved and raped by ISIS militants, bringing attention to the issue of sexual violence in conflict. In addition to her successful legal career, Amal Clooney is well known for her advocacy in areas such as press freedom, defending freedom of speech, and speaking out against the persecution of journalists worldwide. She has been a vocal critic of authoritarian regimes and has worked tirelessly to safeguard the rights of the press. Amal is also recognized for her high-profile marriage to actor George Clooney. The couple wed in 2014 in Venice, Italy, in a ceremony that received worldwide media attention. Together, they have twins, Ella and Alexander, born in 2017. While Amal is often in the public eye for her legal work and her relationship with George Clooney, she has remained committed to her professional career, maintaining a focus on her work as a barrister at Doughty Street Chambers in London. Amal Clooney's exceptional contributions to international law have earned her numerous accolades and awards. She was named one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world and has been featured in numerous prestigious legal and humanitarian publications. Despite her fame, she remains a dedicated advocate for justice and continues to work on significant legal cases globally, demonstrating her commitment to defending human rights and fighting for the oppressed. Amal Clooney's legal prowess extends beyond her courtroom successes. She has been instrumental in shaping international law, particularly in the areas of human rights, transitional justice, and the protection of individuals at risk due to political or social persecution. She has written extensively on international law, including topics related to genocide, the rights of minorities, and the prosecution of war crimes. Her academic contributions and her work with various international bodies have cemented her as a leading figure in the field of human rights law. One of her most notable professional achievements includes her involvement in the case of Armenia versus Azerbaijan before the International Court of Justice, where she represented Armenia in a dispute regarding allegations of racial discrimination and violations of international treaties. Additionally, Amal has been deeply involved in securing accountability for atrocities committed during the Syrian civil war and has advocated for stronger international mechanisms to ensure that war criminals face justice, regardless of their position or the power of their nation. Her passion for human rights is not limited to her high-profile cases. Amal also continues to focus on humanitarian projects and speaks at global forums, conferences, and universities, where she often advocates for the protection of human dignity, the rule of law, and the importance of holding governments accountable for their actions. She is a frequent guest at events discussing the intersection of law, global governance, and human rights, where she stresses the importance of a legal framework that can effectively address the challenges of the modern world. In 2016, she was appointed as a special advisor to the International Criminal Court's ICC prosecutor, further solidifying her role as an influential figure in international justice. Amal also played an essential role in establishing the Doughty Street International Chambers, a specialized group of legal experts dedicated to defending the rights of individuals facing political and legal persecution. Beyond her professional accomplishments, Amal has been involved in various charitable causes and philanthropic efforts, especially those focused on education, women's empowerment, and humanitarian aid. She has worked closely with organizations such as the Clooney Foundation for Justice, which she co-founded with her husband, George Clooney. The foundation seeks to advance justice by supporting human rights initiatives, particularly those focused on the rights of children, refugees, and individuals seeking justice in post-conflict societies. The foundation's work also includes advocacy for the protection of free speech and the promotion of the rule of law. Amal Clooney's contributions to the field of law have not gone unnoticed by her peers. She has received numerous awards and recognitions throughout her career, including honorary doctorates from several prestigious universities, such as the University of Edinburgh and the Lebanese American University. Her contributions to human rights have earned her the title of a Global Ambassador for Justice, and she continues to be an influential voice in global conversations on the future of human rights and international law. Despite her many accomplishments, Amal has managed to maintain a relatively private personal life. She and George Clooney, although constantly under media scrutiny, have kept their family life out of the public eye to a large extent. Amal's ability to balance her demanding career with her family life is often lauded as a testament to her discipline and commitment. Her role as a trailblazer for women in the legal profession is particularly significant. Amal is one of the few women to have risen to prominence in the field of international law, breaking through what has historically been a male-dominated space. She serves as an inspiration to young women across the world who aspire to make an impact in law, politics, and global advocacy. Through her work, Amal Clooney has demonstrated that law can be a powerful tool for social change and justice, and she continues to shape the landscape of human rights advocacy worldwide. In sum, Amal Clooney's legacy is defined by her unwavering commitment to human rights, her extensive contributions to international law, and her role in advocating for those who have been silenced or oppressed. Her work is a testament to the power of legal frameworks in confronting global injustices, and she has become a beacon of hope for countless individuals seeking justice in some of the most challenging legal environments. Her career continues to inspire future generations of lawyers, activists, and humanitarians. Amal Clooney's continued influence in the fields of law and human rights cannot be overstated. Over the years, she has been involved in numerous groundbreaking legal cases that have set important precedents in international law. For example, she has advocated on behalf of victims of sexual violence and war crimes, notably working on the case of Nadia Murad, a Yazidi woman who survived enslavement by ISIS and later became a Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Amal helped bring attention to the atrocities committed against the Yazidi people, including the trafficking of women and girls, and played a significant role in ensuring that those responsible for such war crimes were held accountable under international law. Amal has also represented clients in cases involving environmental rights, freedom of expression, and minority rights. She has fought to protect journalists from unjust detention and prosecution, believing strongly in the critical importance of a free press to hold governments and powerful institutions accountable. As the world grapples with the effects of climate change, Amal has used her platform to advocate for greater international cooperation and legal action to address environmental destruction and its disproportionate effects on vulnerable populations. In addition to her work as a lawyer, Amal Clooney has become a sought-after voice on the international stage. She regularly speaks at prestigious forums such as the United Nations, the Council of Europe, and various academic institutions, where she addresses complex issues related to human rights, international law, and justice. Her eloquent speeches often focus on the need for systemic reform to ensure that legal processes are inclusive, fair, and accessible to all, particularly those from marginalized communities. Despite her immense success, Amal remains deeply committed to her roots. She has spoken on several occasions about her Lebanese heritage and how it has shaped her understanding of justice and human rights. She has also worked on initiatives aimed at supporting the Lebanese community, particularly in times of crisis, such as during the Beirut port explosion in 2020. Amal has used her influence to raise funds for relief efforts and bring attention to the needs of her country of origin, demonstrating her sense of duty to her people. Her personal experiences as a woman in a male-dominated field have also given her a unique perspective on the challenges faced by women in law and other professional spheres. Amal continues to be an advocate for women's rights, emphasizing the importance of empowering young girls and women through education and legal representation. She is particularly vocal about the need for greater representation of women in international law, believing that diverse perspectives are essential for creating more equitable and just legal systems worldwide. Amal Clooney's personal and professional journey serves as a powerful reminder that one person, armed with passion, expertise, and determination, can make a profound difference in the world. Her work continues to transcend borders, challenging governments, legal systems, and societies to reconsider the way justice is served and to push for a future where human rights are respected for all individuals, no matter their nationality, gender, or background. As her career continues to evolve, Amal Clooney remains an unwavering advocate for the voiceless and oppressed. Whether through her representation of high-profile clients or her advocacy for systemic change, she remains at the forefront of international human rights law. Her work embodies the belief that justice is not merely a legal construct, but a moral imperative that requires constant vigilance and action. She has proven that law, when wielded effectively, can be a tool for change, and that even in the face of great adversity, the pursuit of justice is a noble and worthwhile endeavor. In recognition of her tireless efforts, Amal has received numerous awards, honors, and accolades. These include being named one of the 100 most influential people by Time magazine, as well as receiving the prestigious Laureate UNESCO Award for Women in Science and Human Rights. Her impact goes far beyond her legal victories. She has become a symbol of hope for those seeking justice in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. Amal Clooney's career is far from over, and her legacy continues to unfold with each case she takes on and every speech she delivers. She stands as a shining example of how law can be used as a powerful tool for good, and her example encourages future generations to pursue careers that seek justice, defend the vulnerable, and make the world a more equitable place for all.